So as I'm sure you're aware by now, Sergio Pavlovich will now be facing Tom Aspinall in replacement of Johnny Bones Jones versus Stipe Miocic. Now the reason for this, as I'm sure you're all aware by now, is that Johnny Bones Jones tore his pectoral muscle when he was in wrestling practice, and I think he's gone under the knife as we speak. So in the next 2 weeks, we are going to have a new co-main event, and Tom Aspinall this time is the one that's going to be a last-minute replacement. He's the one that's going to have to get ready on 2 weeks' notice, which is a very big ask for him against a dominant heavyweight like Sergio Pavlovich. You know, the guy has an incredible record. Only got 1 loss to his name, and his last 5 fights have been finished by knockout. And I think in a lot of people's eyes, Sergio Pavlovich is the rightful #1 contender. Obviously, with Stipe not fighting for the last few years, a lot of people weren't too happy to see him get a title shot against John Jones. But now I've got Sergio Pavlovich versus Tom Aspinall, and it's going to be for the interim heavyweight championship of the world, which is very confusing for me after hearing Dana White's comments the other night saying that John Jones and Stipe Miocic will be rebooked for next year. So I'm just unsure as to where that leaves, you know, Tom Aspinall and Sergio Pavlovich. I mean, the whole idea behind this interim title fight now doesn't make sense after Dana White's comments the other day. So I'm unsure as to what he's going to do there. You know, maybe he didn't really think it through. And I think this fight's going to be a tough ask for Tom Aspinall. You know, I think he's a definite top heavyweight in the UFC at this point. But unfortunately for him, he hasn't been very active. Obviously, he had a bit of a layoff after injuring himself against Curtis Blades. And he's had 1 fight since then. Obviously, a fantastic return. Don't get me wrong. But his level of competition has just gone up a notch. You know what I mean? Sergio Pavlovich is not to be messed with. And now in the main event, we've got Alex Pereira versus Jiri Prohaska. You know, my mother tongue doesn't work very well for a lot of these UFC fighters. Obviously, that's going to be a fantastic contest as well. Another big test for Alex Pereira in the light heavyweight division. But I think so far he's settling into the weight class nicely. But let me know what you guys think, you know, of the new heavyweight bout between Sergio Pavlovich and Tom Aspinall. Who do you think is going to get this one done? I personally think Sergio Pavlovich is going to get a knockout in this one. I think if, you know, Tom Aspinall had a bit more time to prepare for the contest, he might even be within a shot to win this one. But due to the short notice, and as we've seen recently with Kamaru Usman stepping in on short notice, it's definitely no easy task, you know. So I think Sergio Pavlovich is going to get the win here. That's it from me today, guys. UFC 295, a couple of weeks away. Can't wait for it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Catch you later.